The Lesson 21 objective says, complete a pattern counting up and down. So our homework number 1 says find the pattern, fill in the blanks. So let's look at letter A. They give us 2 numbers at the beginning and then 4 blanks to fill in. Let's read those first 2 numbers, 396, 397. We need to look at what numbers in these 2 numbers are changing. Are we counting up? Are we counting down? We have lots of questions to ask ourselves. So let's first look at the numbers and decide whether or not we're counting up or we're counting down. 396, 397. Well, it looks like our ones place is counting, we're going up, and we're counting by ones. Because 300s is the same in both numbers and 9/10s is the same in both numbers. But our ones are different. So we are counting up by ones. Pretty simple. Let's continue to count and write our numbers as we count. So 396, 397, 398, 399, 400. And then one more than 400 is 401. So we crossed over 100 to count up to 401, and we counted up by ones. Let's look at letter B. 251, 351. Looks like we're counting up by hundreds because our hundreds are the only numbers that are changing. We still have 5 10s in both numbers and 1 1 in both numbers, but our hundreds are different. So let's continue to count up by hundreds. 251, 351, 451, 551, 651, 751. Notice that my 10s and my 1s are not changing at all. My hundreds are going up. So we're going up 200s, 400s, 300s, 400s, 500s, 600s, 700s. Let's look at letter C. 476, 486. Oh, looks like we're counting up. And we're counting up by 10s because we have 400s in both numbers and 6 1s in both numbers, but our 10s are different. And we go up from 7 10s to 8 10s. So let's continue counting. 476, 486, 496. And right here it gets a little tough, but we know that if we have 9 10s, the next number after 9 is 10 10s. So we can bundle a 10, and that's going to change our hundreds. Because if we bundle and move over to the hundreds place, we're now going to have 5 hundreds, 0 10s, 6 1s. Or you can look at it as 49 10s, 50 10s. So let's continue counting. 506, 516. So we have 49 10s, 50 10s, 51 10s, and if we continue counting that way, we'll have 526, 52 10s. Now let's look at letter D. 630, 620. Oh, this is our first problem that we're going to be counting backwards or counting down. So, and we're going to be counting by our 10s because we have 600s and 600s and 0 1s and 0 1s. So our 10s are the ones that are changing. Now I see that we have 0 1s. So let's look at 63 10s and 62 10s. Isolating our 63 and our 62 is going to help us to continue to count when we're counting down. So let's count down by these 10s. 63 10s, 62 10s, 61 10s, 60 10s, 59 10s, 58 10s. And the reason why I'm saying 61 10s, but the number is 610, is because We have 600s and 110, but 600s and 110 can also be stated as 61 tens. So we count 630, 620, 610, 600, 590, 580. All right, you're going to do number 2, but I want to go down to number 3. You've seen this chart in class, and you're going to have another one tonight. So we always start with our top row. We are counting by ones. So let's count up, since we're when we read from left to right, we're counting up. So let's count up by ones. So 206, 207, 208, 209, 210. Now, when we go down to our second row, we see 218. Well, the only thing different about this row as opposed to the number right above it is it's tens. So we have obviously increased our numbers. Our numbers down here are going to be 10 more than the number above it. So if this number is 207 and this number is 208, we know that if this is 218, this is 217, because 217 is 10 more than 207. And since we know that this is 218, we're going to count up by 1 and make this 219. We're going to check our work by knowing that 219 is 10 more than 209. Now you're going to fill in the rest of this chart for homework using the numbers that are given and the numbers that have been given to you through the example.